What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Zip and the Mick. Um, as you can see, we are missing our Zip right now. We hope he is in good health and with whatever he's going on, but he is held up right now. So, in his stay, and also our special guest, we have back our buddy and everyone's friend, the great Paul Foster. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you for coming back on.
Yeah.
Last time we had you on, it was the first week, I believe, that they did the college football playoff bracket.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take a quick look back at what that kind of looked like
Hmm.
when we had you on, as opposed to now, and then we
Yeah.
can dive into what it looks like, what we're expecting to see. So, back then, I mean, what week was that?
Oh, man.
Shit. Do you remember? I don't remember the exact week that that first playoff was, but they had the top 15 was Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, Texas. That's top
Yep.
5. And that's when everyone was getting confused because it was the first time they were like, okay, the top however many teams will not transfer over into the playoff brackets because it's gonna be conference championships kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we were looking at the top 4 of their conference were getting buys were Oregon, Georgia, Miami, and BYU. That's kind of,
I
I
mean,
mean,
so then, I mean, I said it then. Um, I didn't get worked up about it because like it's not gonna matter. It's gonna change, you know. It's
ex-
fun. This is what they think, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get some insight to how they're gonna do things at the end of the year. And no, no,
no, dude, we
yeah,
didn't get we didn't get shit. There's only one of those
yeah,
teams still in there,
yeah,
and they stayed at number 1.
yeah.
And then, I mean, it's so. I mean,
I mean, it's fun. That's why college football is fun to watch because it changes so much. But it's like the first rankings come out and everyone gets up in arms, and it's like, man, just let it play out. It is not going to end up this way. I'm sure one year it will, and it'll be a big deal, but it's not gonna. If
no.
you so little pop quiz, what? Who was the first ever number one team in the inaugural college football rankings?
Who
Yeah, what
was?
team was the first number one team ever in a college football ranking?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, so this is we're going way back and when they
Yeah,
just developed rankings in college.
yeah.
So I would assume maybe it was a uh what is it, like a Yale or
No, no,
because
no, 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 no.
no.
This is modern era.
Oh, okay,
This
okay,
is the when we went to the college football playoff format, the four team format.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh shit. Dude, I don't know. Alabama? I don't know.
the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
And
yep.
who quarterbacked them? Who was the last person? Was that Dak?
That
Was
was
that
Dak
Dak?
Prescott.
That was the last. Okay.
That was Dak Prescott. Yes, yes, yeah.
Holy shit.
In 2014. Moral of the
Oh my. Oh,
story.
that makes a whole lot of sense.
Moral of the story. First playoff rankings don't matter. Fun to talk
Hmm.
about, but nothing to
Yeah.
get worked up over.
So let's move on from that, dude,
Yep.
and let's get into what the playoffs are looking like now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what side do you want to start on? We'll stop on the top left. Let's see, Tennessee, Ohio State,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, what are your thoughts on that game?
Uh, I mean, if before Thanksgiving, I'd have said Ohio State's blowing out Tennessee. After Thanksgiving, I mean, man, Ohio State took a dump against Michigan. You don't lose that game. I mean, that's like Alabama OU. I mean, you don't lose that game. And
But
I mean, so
but
that
also that's one of that's that rivalry though. I mean,
yeah.
that's
I mean, I get that, and it's a rivalry. And when you have the better team and your rivals down, I mean, that should be the motivation to come in there and just kick someone's head in. And Michigan came in and kicked Ohio State's head in.
yeah.
And that
And
just beat them off the ball all day.
dude, that was amazing. And then
Yeah.
did you see what happened when the wait, was that the Mace game
Yes.
afterwards? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome
Yeah.
to a point. I
Yeah.
mean, because I mean, these motherfuckers were acting a fool.
Yeah.
And there was one guy I remember that I think they interviewed from Ohio State, and he was like, and he's definitely heard it before. And anyone who's played sports before, especially hockey players,
Yeah.
and afterwards you get the speech from the coach that says, "Oh, you've been out there for 3 periods of ice, or you're fucking 4 quarters, and you want to
Yeah.
fight after the game."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've heard that a couple times.
exactly. And you can tell. I mean, but this guy had like the pure class to say that, and but meanwhile, everyone else behind him is like on the sidelines vomiting.
Yeah.
It looked like that day from basic training when you're coming out of the
Yeah.
NBC chamber.
Yeah.
I
Snot
didn't know what
running out of your
happened.
nose.
I didn't know what happened because they didn't cut away. I thought they would cut away.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because they're trying to. I don't know. I don't know. Usually they cut away from people getting hurt and whatever, but all of a sudden there's kids fighting on the field, and they're like, "We're gonna continue. We're not gonna
Yeah.
go to commercial break for this." I don't get it. They just continued,
Yeah.
and
It's fun. It's everybody wanted to see. Look, man, here's what I say. You got a problem people planting a flag, win the damn ball game. Don't cry about it afterwards, especially in a rivalry game. People are soft as baby shit nowadays, man. Like, dude, you just
people don't.
gotta own it, man. Like OU Texas, they do it back and forth every year, and it sucks to watch Texas plant that flag. But you know what? They freaking earned it, and next year we're gonna line up and try to be able to do the same thing to them.
Yeah, like dude, I don't. It's something I don't get because that is something you should learn in sports at a very young
Yeah,
age as to how to lose. And
yeah,
all you mean to tell me all these guys have been winning their entire life and now
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
make sense. No.
yeah.
And
And
even
look, I get some people take issue with, oh, it's going too far and planting the flag. You don't do it every game. It's
dude,
basically a back and forth rivalry, big game tradition. So, let them do it. That's why Baker Mayfield did it in Ohio State because OU and Texas have been doing it back and forth for years. It's something we kind of started, and look and see how far back that's gone. And there hadn't been one single fight. You know why? Because it's embarrassing. You just lost the game. You got
and that's
outperformed, and now you want to act like you want to like play hard, fight hard. Nah,
right.
nah,
I don't understand it because it's not a horrible thing other than it's a shot to your pride. Because they're not fucking up the field. It's not like they're dropping trow and shit in there or
yeah,
like ripping up your grass. And even
yeah,
then, it's the groundskeeper's fucking
yeah,
problem. Let the school handle that.
yeah,
You lost the fucking game. Get in the locker room, go cry.
yeah,
But it's the whole disrespect thing is it's gone too far. Like
yeah,
come on. Like
yeah,
yeah, plant the fucking flag. You win, come back next year and win and plant your fucking flag.
yeah, yeah,
Like, have you
yeah,
never played Halo, dude?
yeah,
Like, what the
exactly.
fuck?
Yeah, it's a bad look. But
Yeah.
but back to the game, man. I I want to pick Tennessee. I really do. Um, because Ohio State's offense is garbage. Will Howard, I mean, if you're going to Kansas State to get your national championship winning quarterback, man, you got problems. Um,
Am I sensing a little bit of salty Big 12?
no,
Okay, no.
no. I mean, Will
Okay.
Howard's a good quarterback. But it's like if my team was one piece away from winning a national title, and we're stealing a running quarterback from Kansas State, I'd be less than thrilled, put it that way. But
Okay.
I'm probably gonna pick Ohio State to win a close one. Um, I want to go with Tennessee, but I think Ohio State's gonna pull it out.
Okay. So going across the board on now, we have what is that? The Battle of the State of Indiana,
Man,
Notre Dame, and IU.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna. We're gonna get into it, but you're gonna be. I've
I
been
want
thinking about it. I've
why?
been stewing on it.
Why
You're really gonna like what I have to say here today. You're really gonna.
am I?
I feel like there's no way around it.
Okay.
I think Notre Dame wins big. I like Notre Dame. I think they're underrated. As a lifelong OU fan, that's kind of in our tradition just to automatically shit on Notre Dame because they stopped the 47 game winning streak.
One
Um,
game, because of one game.
so,
Dude,
yeah,
dude, that's the one
that's
thing. Like, growing up a Notre Dame fan, I never met so many haters for no fucking reason. Because I was
yeah,
like, wait, we don't even belong to a conference, and
yeah,
everyone hates us. And
yeah,
then it like dawned on me, it's because we beat them at a big time during
yeah,
their or
yeah,
own them. No matter how well they did, they couldn't beat us. It was
yeah,
always something like that. It was,
yeah.
Notre Dame was the better team. That's where
Because
the
Notre
hate.
Dame was good.
That's
Because Notre
that's
Dame
where
was
the hate
good.
comes from.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but
So
yeah, that's crazy.
I like Notre Dame. I think I like Notre Dame big in this one, to be honest with you. I think Indiana is, hey, you know what? Look, you've had a great season and you want to keep this storybook going. You got to go to Big Brother's house and punch him in the face right down the street. And I think Notre Dame is they, oh, guess what? We got little brother here now. And I think Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame. I do think the loss to Northern Illinois was an anomaly.
Dude,
That's not
if
Notre
you
Dame.
if you take that game away and look
Yeah,
at every other game they've played this season,
yeah,
like look how well they've played against ranked teams. They
yeah.
don't just beat them, they beat them by multiple touchdowns.
It's a physical style of football, man. It's that, when you talk about that Big Ten sort of pro style smash mouth run football, man, that's what they're doing. And
Yeah.
it's they're but we'll get into it. We'll get
Okay.
I yeah.
So Notre Dame big on
Yeah.
IU.
Yeah.
We'll drop down. We have the my two SMU Penn State. And
Yes.
before we get into this game, I just want to go back a week and talk about how SMU completely fucking devastated me by
Yeah.
losing to Clemson in that fucking championship game. How does that happen? I don't
So,
I
you
hate
know,
Dabo.
at
Stupid name.
at halftime, you're thinking, man, okay, so SMU fairy tale, good job, good for them, but they're not ready to compete yet. And man, they came out in that second half, and man, they showed they're ready to go to the big stage. I mean, you put a lot of teams in that situation, they don't come back. Like look at the Big 12 championship game. Look at what Arizona State did to Iowa State. Like they punched them in the mouth, didn't give them a chance to breathe, and SMU gouged eyes, fought and clawed their way back into it, and almost pulled it off. So I hate to use moral victories. It was definitely a moral victory.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't.
So this game, the
Okay.
ponies versus the pedophiles in the
There we
college
go.
football playoff.
There's the t-shirt.
Yes. um, if there's a
Somebody's riding somebody.
yeah, if there's a team, Jesus, if there's a team I hate more in college football, it's Penn State. I mean, Penn State is
What
if any
is
if so here's it to me, this is the death penalty bowl because SMU received the death penalty, Penn State deserved the death penalty.
okay?
And I
Is
think
that
that's
where the hate comes from for Penn
yeah,
State? So
yeah.
you were cool with them up until you found out they were pederasses.
I say cool, like, hey, Joe Paterno, man, he's kind of doing it the old fashioned way. You know what I mean? He's a good leader of young men.
Yeah, he
Then,
was
then you
the
find
the
out
old Greek Roman way.
yeah, he's spending decades hiding a pedophile, covering for a pedophile, and you're just
Yeah,
like, man, I'm sorry.
yeah,
You're
but a
putting this,
defensive genius though.
yeah. I mean, you're
Too bad he
putting
couldn't bring that defense into the courtroom.
no,
Because
yeah, no, he needed it
I
because
mean, not too bad. I mean, good
yeah,
for where he is. He needs a rotten hell, but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just a
That
joke.
I mean, so and that aside, I think Penn State's overrated. They have been. I mean, James Franklin hasn't won a big game since he's been there. This is going to be a big game. This is exactly the kind of game that Penn State chokes off under James Franklin. And give me SMU to win by 10 points.
Wow. You know what? I'll take that. I'll back you on that because I've seen Penn State play some games this year and them make big turnovers or just the lack of plays that when they should and just not been punished for it by the other team.
Penn
It's like
State's
they
a
just getting away with just bullshit play.
they're a flashier Iowa. You know what I mean? Like their
Oh,
offense, they're not going to hit big
they
plays.
can score a touchdown in the
Yeah, here
first
or there.
half.
Yeah, 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 exactly. I mean, they don't move the needle, and man, SMU's got something to prove, and I'm excited to see what they do. That
Yeah,
that that's the game I'm looking forward to seeing the most in the first round.
I hope SMU comes out pissed and just starts. But everything that I hope happens,
Never does.
yeah, never
Nope.
does.
Penn State wins
But
by three
yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah. Fucking they'll just get beat by the damn Heisman Trophy winner from Boise State. But
Yeah,
we'll get into that next. Shooting across the board, last of the first round, the ugliest fucking game that
yeah,
you're gonna see color scheme wise.
yeah,
Clemson versus Texas.
yeah.
Who do you got on this?
I'm gonna go Texas. Clemson's a good story. They're fun. I bet they can keep it close, but I just feel like Texas has got something in them, and I think, well, if Texas is going to win it all, we're going to have to see Arch Manning at some point because Quinn Ewers just, I mean, he just kind of shits down his leg when he shouldn't. Um, and you know, Georgia's a tough team, but man, he just in the second half just, yeah, yeah, I almost feel bad for him in a way. So I think Texas wins this game, but I would not be shocked if Arch Manning plays at some point and kind of turns this offense into more of a hot rod than what it has been.
I hope it's because that Texas goes up by so many points that they just go ahead and put in Arch and he just goes ahead and burns more points because I hate Clemson that much.
Yeah,
And I never hated Clemson until I moved to South Carolina and
yeah,
I had to listen to this guy named fucking Dabo, and I hated that fucking name. I was like, "Is that?" And for some reason, dude, that just kind of it tweaked me wrong. Like I don't like this guy at all. He may
yeah,
be an incredible head coach for a shitty ass fucking school that they run down a goddamn hill
yeah,
to get into the field, which I would think is the most dangerous fucking thing. I would be worried about blowing a fucking knee out. You're worried,
yeah.
yeah. Just come out of a tunnel like every other fucking team in the goddamn country,
They drive a
asshole.
bus around to get there.
Yeah, or do somersaults down the fucking hill. Something, man. It's safer than having you sprint down the fucking thing. Son of a bitch. Okay, so the our bye teams we have Oregon, Georgia, Arizona State, Boise State. Which one do you think is the weakest?
I mean, Boise State, obviously. I mean, they're a good story, but um, they're gonna get. I picking SMU to beat Penn State. I think SMU beats Boise State too.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Dude, okay. I
yeah,
mean, you think Boise State is worse than Arizona State? Because I kind of look at those two teams as the same. As like they have incredible fucking running backs,
yeah.
and then the rest of the team is just kind of
I Arizona State can throw the ball really well. They threw the ball bunch against Iowa State. I watched a lot
well,
of that
yeah,
game,
look at the fucking score.
and that's why Scadaboo gets to has the lanes he does because Arizona State has enough of a passing game that it forces teams to spread out. Like you have to respect it, and so that allows them to run. That's true, tried and
Dude,
true way to run the ball and move the ball down the field, and they're good at it, man. They're really
maybe
good at it.
I don't feel as confident in this statement now that I heard you just say that, but I did believe wholeheartedly about 5 minutes ago that Scatterboo looked like the next Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. He's
And
good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I mean, he gets a lot of good yards after contact, and the guy does not avoid contact, man. It's
no,
head first.
but
Um,
that could hurt him in the NFL.
oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, he's not going to come in and be an MVP, but I bet he has a nice career. We guarantee you will have a nice career.
Yeah.
You get one NFL contract, you're set for life. So yeah,
Right on. So, okay, now that we're into the talks about those guys, uh Jimmy and I got into a little bit of a heated argument about the Heisman Trophy
yeah,
front runners. At the time that we spoke about it, it was Travis Hunter of the Colorado Buffaloes and I can't remember his first GNT of Boise State.
yeah.
GNT. I can never pronounce his name right, but um, what are your thoughts on the Heisman and who do you think should win it?
It's Genetti.
There it is.
Yeah, and if I had a vote, that's who I'm voting for. I don't have a vote, but
We
I think
should.
I I think Genetti is is the best player and most deserving of the trophy. Um, Travis Hunter is fantastic. Travis Hunter is a once in a lifetime kind of guy because the stamina it takes to do that, that's great. I'm happy for you. But, his Colorado didn't even play for a Big 12 championship. So I'm just not I'm not sold on Travis.
No.
I mean, look, I'm sold on him, but Genetti's
I,
is a much more deserving player than Hunter.
yeah, he's and I agree with you. Travis Hunter to me, as great as incredible of what he's doing is, he's still not the best player on the field every time he touches the field.
No.
Because guess who's I would argue I'm probably saying his name wrong, is the better player on
Mhm.
offense. And then on defense, the guy's just he's mediocre at best. He only has four
Yeah.
interceptions on the season, and it's there's guys that have 11 to 15.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, what he's playing two-way ball. Okay, there's dudes in Iowa playing eight-man football that are
Yeah.
going two-way ball too, and
Now, look, I'll give it to him. That's hard to do at this level.
very
The game's faster and it's stronger, and it takes a special kind of person to do that. And so, I mean, he's doing it above average. You know what I mean?
well,
He's
yeah, because he's doing it. He's the only
yeah,
one doing it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that yeah,
yeah,
that makes him above average.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like the the strength it takes, the mindset, just the because he has to learn defensive fucking postures. He has to learn,
yeah,
offense. He has to learn defense. So I get that. That's extra time in
yeah,
fucking the classroom. Um, and that's great. I mean, that's not gonna transfer over to the NFL by any means. Nobody's gonna draft you to play two ways.
yeah,
Uh, they would love that you did do that, but um being the Heisman Trophy is supposed to be the best player in college football. That that just isn't him to me.
No, I mean Dylan Gabriel had more of an impact on his team. Cam Ward had more of an impact on his team. I mean, I hate I hate to say this because it sounds really disrespectful, but it's kind of gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is.
it is. Okay, so speaking of gimmicks, did you see that Coach Belichick is now the head coach of University of North Carolina football?
Yeah, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, he's gonna get fired in 2, 3 years. I mean, it's cool. It's awesome. Hey, this next year, dude,
There's there's
North
gonna be
Carolina.
video of him in the bar with chicks rubbing on his
Yeah.
dick like
I mean, North Carolina's going for the Dion effect. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're gonna get on TV for just who are the name of our head coach, and he's gonna run it as a CEO. He's gonna be like Dion. He's gonna be on the sidelines, kind of quality controlling what the rest of the coaches are doing. But I mean, he's not gonna be you know in it because it's man, coaching in college is insane when you factor in everything you have to do and be in charge of. And he is not gonna be GM and head coach of a team in a lawless free agent era like NAL is. So and the transfer portal. So yeah, no, he's gonna be there and name and sell some tickets for a few years, but I have a feeling by year 3 it's gonna be so bad they're gonna be like, yank.
I see fucking dads in Boston right now just going ape shit like their kids are in high school, like this is the closest we'll ever fucking get to Coach Belichick. And I wish I had a Boston accent, but I'm
Yeah,
fucking up right now. And just going because I mean that's gonna be a thing. It's
yeah,
gonna be a
yeah,
thing. They're not gonna need to recruit as hard to get certain players, but I think what's gonna hurt him, other than what you said with the nil, that fucking lawless
yeah,
territory that's gonna happen, that he's gonna have absolutely no control over and lose his mind.
yeah.
Um, but he's gonna pull in talent, and then they're gonna realize that like he's a children. Like
Yeah.
his the way he coached in the NFL is not gonna transfer over to the way.
There are some people, yeah, it will. There are some guys, there are some fathers like, "Hey, I want my boy to play for Bill Belichick." Here's where he's gonna fail, and he's gonna fail dramatically at it. One of the biggest parts of being a college head coach is you are the chief fundraiser for the program. And when
Yeah.
you're not talking to kids or coaching football, you've gotta be have your nose so far up these boosters' ass for them to give the school money that the moment you piss them off and you're having a 6-6 season, they are going to run you out of town. You don't show up at Joe Bob's daughter's wedding and he just dropped
And
5 million on the program. He's done with you. And Bill Belichick, you cannot tell me he can go to North Carolina of all places and have his nose up all these rich southern bastards assholes. It is not going to happen.
so what is this? What is this?
It's a Deion Sanders hire.
They're just trying to bring in the just
It's a
recruiting. It's a recruiting tactic.
it's part of it partly. So they are going to be. Remember when Dion went to Colorado, and still to this day, how much is Colorado on TV? All the
All
time.
the time.
So
Okay.
now,
It's a profit gig.
yes, it's about money. Who
Yeah.
who who
Get the
would have
fuck out of
thought?
here. Oh, God
No.
damn it. End the episode right now. We figured it all out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah. Holy shit. You're right.
yeah.
Oh, and yeah,
It's
I was,
smart. They don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? He's not being handed the keys like he couldn't. Man, he would be run out of Notre Dame within 2 seasons, or a place like Texas, one of these big
No,
names.
Notre Dame would hand him a 10 fucking year contract
But he
and
could.
like they did to Charlie Weiss and then fire him after fucking loser. Fuck. God damn. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, like, this is, it's a mid-tier program. Let him run it, see what he can do. Hey, if he has success and they make it to an ACC championship game in a few years, that's a win in their book. But I don't see this. I don't see how this ends well.
Panning out other than just to get him TV time.
So yeah,
Huh. So it's okay.
yeah,
Shit. Okay. Oh, dude. All right. I had a weird fucking thing. Like, okay, it was a sports related thing. I was participating in some extracurricular activities on a back porch.
yeah, yeah,
And I was thinking, I was like, okay, if you're playing catch with somebody, you're barehanded, okay? It's a tennis ball. They throw you the ball. Which hand are you catching it with?
my left hand.
Okay, you're a hockey goalie. All
Yeah,
right, and you're left-handed. Okay.
yeah,
Now say you put a glove on your well, no, which hand are you? Are you left-handed? Do you catch left-handed?
yeah,
Okay, so you throw with what hand?
right hand.
Okay, you catch left-handed.
Yeah.
So, God, this doesn't work with you because you're a fucking hockey goalie. But like, it doesn't make sense that like, okay, if somebody throws me a tennis ball
Yeah,
and I'm like 10 feet away, I'm gonna first reach up with my right hand to catch the
yeah,
ball. But if I'm wearing a glove, I'm gonna wear a glove on my left hand. And so if a ball is thrown to me while I'm wearing a glove, I'm gonna catch it with my left hand, right? And have
yeah,
no problem. But now take that glove, put it on my right hand, and that person throws the ball. Now that for some reason I have a bigger area to catch that ball with, I'm still not confident I can catch that ball. Does that make sense?
So
Like,
you're saying if you put a glove on the opposite hand you normally catch with, you wouldn't be as confident in catching a ball if someone threw it to you?
yeah. But without the glove, I'm more confident.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes total sense because hockey goalie, right?
Yeah.
So what do they call it? Oh,
Ambidextrous.
no, Schoonover's
S-
gonna see this and get mad at me. He is. He's going to because we talk about it. It's like they call it true right, true left, or something, whatever. You know what I mean? So if I was, I catch with my left, hold the stick in my right hand, right?
yeah.
And you're right. Like if you threw something at my right hand barehanded, I could probably catch it. But if I had that glove and had to like put a lot of wrist motion or arm movement into it where I'm more used to it with my left hand versus my right, yeah, absolutely. I would not be as confident trying to manipulate the equipment to stop the puck as I would be with my left hand.
Right. Like I never
Yeah.
it didn't make sense to me. I was like, why is the area bigger, but I'm not as confident catching the
Yeah.
ball? I don't know. I thought it was because maybe because I'm kind of I don't want to say ambidextrous, but
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
It makes
Okay.
sense. I mean, it makes sense to me because it's not just like you trust your fingertips more than you trust like a tool.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Shit.
So here's a hammer, right? You hammer with your left hand or your right hand.
Right hand.
Yeah. So if you put that hammer in your left hand, you're so let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. You're gonna hammer a nail into a board.
Yeah.
You got to use your left hand. Would you rather use a hammer or would you rather have like a little stone in your hand that you could hit down on the nail?
Oh. Uh get give me well, how flat is the stone?
As flat as you want it. The,
Okay.
the stone works like
Give me a
basically.
hammer. Give me a hammer.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel because I've used a hammer as a child,
Yeah,
and that's how I learned.
yeah.
I
But with
learned,
with your offhand,
yeah, I was taught to use my right hand to
yeah,
hammer. So yeah, and I was always told just kind of the way like I'm holding the microphone, it's a control hand.
yeah,
Like even though I write left-handed,
yeah,
like I play hockey right-handed, I bat
yeah.
right-handed because the left hand is the control hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So, but you're we're chipping away
yeah,
at what's going on. So the
therapy.
the control hand, when it doesn't have a glove on it, you don't have to worry about controlling that tool in your hand. You have more confidence in your fingertips than the tool. Does that make
Dude,
sense?
yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it's not a control. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Damn.
Awesome.
All right. So now that we figured that out, do you have any topics before we get into some speculation for next week's games or next
Uh
couple weeks' games?
uh no, not really, man. I mean, we can talk about OU and how fantastic they're doing in the transfer portal.
Bring it up, dude. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, it's
I haven't seen what they've done. So what have they?
losing, man, they've lost 4 of 6 top wide receivers. Uh Deshaun McCullough.
These are active guys that played this past
No, these are
season.
all the guys that were hurt all season,
Oh.
and they're all in the portal now.
And so because they were hurt, they can play immediately with their next team that they go to. Does that how they I don't know how the transfer portal
Yeah,
works.
I need to look it up. You don't have to sit out a year anymore.
You
Um,
can just go straight to another.
yeah, yeah,
Holy
yeah.
fuck.
I think you get that like one. They say you get it once or twice or something, but you know, it's not. It's a non-issue like it was, and it needs to come back in some form. I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's so many guys from Norman entering the portal, and it's like BV is getting his starting year 4, and he's going to have a total rebuild on offense.
Do you,
Defense defense is losing a ton of key people, and it's just like, man, he's we're going to be starting over. OU's going to be starting over next year, and
how
it's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad.
how does it feel, and I'm sorry I'm doing
No,
this, but as an OU fan,
it's okay.
going into the SEC at the same time as Texas does and seeing what Texas is doing and you guys are doing what you're doing.
It's it's sick. It's sickening, man. It sucks. It sucks so bad because I mean, I live for Saturdays in the fall to watch OU football. And I mean, for 20 years, 24 years, you know, there's a lot of Saturdays in the fall and you're watching OU football and you're talking about national championship implications, whether they're realistic or not. There's a lot of games you're like, hey, we win this game, man. We're positioned to be, 1 or 2 in the BCS and we'll make the game. I mean, like there was a ton of hope and like there is no hope right now. I mean, it is
So
like it's it's bleak.
why do you think there's such a big difference between that? Well, like, did
OU,
they had the did Texas have the better recruiting class going in? I mean, how
oh,
far in advance did you guys know you guys were both going into the SEC?
I've known for like 2 or 3 years leading into it, 2 years leading into it, maybe 3 because I'm trying to remember if Lincoln Riley was here. I think Lincoln Riley was here for a
He
season.
got
Yeah,
scared and
yeah,
bounced to
that's
the
what they. Yeah,
Pac-12.
yeah. Um, we had at least 3 years. Well, publicly, behind the scenes, they've known for
God
a
no,
lot
yeah.
longer. They've known for a lot longer. And man, I thought we were ready, and we're not. And we're not prepared. We're not prepared to play SEC football because I mean it's a different beast. Texas is prepared for SEC football. it's that culture of boosters and money on the side, and it's Thunderdome, dude. The SEC
So
is
how
Thunderdome,
so
and
how does how does OU recover? How do they
you got to play dirty, man. It's BV for all his qualities, and he's a great guy. He's got too much Dabo Sweeney in him, man. He really does. He
he's got a
really does.
stupid name.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. That too. Not
For starters.
he's too, hey, we want the right guys here and the program guys, you got to be bought in and all that's true, but man, every single contributor on your team is being hit up to go to another team and play football for more money.
Yeah.
And it happens behind the scenes. It's like, oh, what didn't happen? They didn't know. I mean, these kids have agents and people looking out and they're like, hey man, look, man, talking to this guy over here at Georgia and you're making 200,000 a year. You can, make 300,000 over there and they're gone. And so
Yeah.
he's got to really learn to play SEC ball and
And stop recruiting during tornado season.
and just,
Like,
just I
don't
mean
bring anyone in during that time. It's scary.
that too. There's that aspect to it as well.
It's the little things, dude. I mean, fuck. Some people never seen that shit before.
Yeah, it'll freak
All
them
of a
out.
sudden, big sirens going off, dude. What the fuck? That scares a lot of people. But no, I didn't mean to cut you off. So,
No, no, you're good, man. You're good. I'm just drawing out this sick feeling that I've got in my stomach.
well, as a Notre Dame fan, I wish OU the best. I
Yeah,
wish you the best as an
yeah,
OU fan. How
yeah.
about that? I'd rather put it that way. All right, man. Let's get into some speculation here.
Okay,
Um, we have Tennessee, Ohio State. You said,
Ohio State,
yep, going against Oregon. Who do you think wins that one?
Oregon.
Oregon easily, or are they having some trouble?
I say easily. I
Okay.
think, and that game. Do you know where it'll be played?
No.
The Rose Bowl,
Oh.
which would be
Oh.
awesome. Old
Yeah.
Pac-12, old Big
Yeah.
Ten. I mean, it'd be a neat game to watch, man. The pageantry will be off the charts, and I think Oregon will understand the assignment and come out and light up Ohio State because that's big. Look, Gabriel, he's played in big games, man. He's beat Texas, on that stage. So I don't think those situations are a problem for him.
Wasn't Gabriel an old OU quarterback?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Along
We
with
ran him out of
Caleb.
town for Jackson Arnold. That worked out great.
Good job. And
Worked out
didn't that
real
guy get
great.
in the transfer portal too?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't you happy for that one?
Feel bad for the kid, man. I think OU ruined him. I think he's got a ton of talent, but I think he's mentally just been shell shocked.
yeah. I mean, I've been to Norman a couple times too. Yeah. Had some cars towed. So, all right. Okay. We'll go across the board then. So, Notre Dame wins easily against IU. So now they play Georgia.
Yeah.
I have a hair in my fucking mouth. It's gone now. How do you see that one panning out
I think Notre Dame wins easily
against Georgia? It
against
scares
Georgia.
me.
Yeah,
It scares me.
yeah. Carson Beck's out, man. He tore his UCL on his throwing arm. He's done. So they're going with that backup, and he did some nice things against Texas, but I think,
He managed the game
yeah,
the way I saw it. Like that defense is the what pulled it off against Texas. But
I think Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame can handle business. And I think they take Georgia.
I hope they can. That game still scares me
Oh,
because
for sure.
I mean our record against SEC teams, SEC team, you can
Yeah.
tell the alcohol's starting to hit me late. Um, yeah, is not a good one.
Yeah.
So that game scares me a little bit. Uh, again, I hope
It's a
my
fun
Irish.
matchup, man. It's a fun matchup.
It's gonna be good.
It's an awesome, awesome uniform helmet matchup.
I Yeah, I would like a T-shirt. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
But I think Notre Dame's defense, if I like really lean into that, is gonna dominate that backup quarterback.
yeah.
Like pressure him to the point
Oh,
there's gonna be multiple turnovers,
for sure.
and
They got Notre Dame has the athletes to do it.
they're gonna be. Oh,
Yeah,
love to hear it. Love to hear it. All right, dropping down. SMU beats Penn State. Those fucking pedos.
yeah,
And I think you said what SMU dominates Boise State.
yeah,
That's gonna be that. I think that's gonna be a pretty good game. I'd like to see that because just because of the color scheme. If I
yeah.
wasn't paying attention, I'd be like, which team is what?
It'll be a fun game. It'll be a real fun game. But I think SMU's offense is just too much.
All right, shooting across. Texas beats the hell out of Clemson as they should against Arizona State.
Yeah. Gi-
Oh,
Give me Texas easily.
easily.
Yeah, I think Texas got a good defense. I think Texas can uh shut down Arizona State. And yeah.
Is it? Do you only have to shut down Scatterboo to beat Arizona State?
If you make them one dimensional, you make any team one dimensional, you can
But he
see
can
what's coming.
catch too.
Yeah. But I mean, if you can stop the running game, which Texas is more than capable of doing, against a team like Arizona State, I mean, it's a good story, but Arizona State doesn't have the athletes on the offense that Texas does on the defensive line. They just don't. And so that's what that money, that SEC money that Texas is prepared for. That's what it gets you, man.
Got
Yeah.
damn good fucking mind.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, I got one more topic before we go, unless you got something for me.
No, let's go for it.
You see little Mr. Oklahoma State Mike Gundy selling his estate.
That is so bad.
I'm gonna bring up the damn fucking I took a photo of it of the story. I'm gonna read it out loud if I can still read. Hold on. What is it? Holy shit. Okay. Mike Gundy lists his $8 million ranch in Oklahoma, making it the priciest home in the area. I mean, this is Stillwater, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, it's all open up there anyway. The
I'm
home is
sure
in Stillwater. Oh, there we go.
sure it's a nice place.
Yeah, and it lists making it the priciest in the area where the median house is the modest 275,000. He feels that the home is just a lot for two people. So it's just him and his wife in this fucking place?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Have you seen the photos?
No, I haven't.
How the fuck does she clean this house?
I'm sure someone's paid to handle all that.
110 acres. It's 13,850 square foot. Ugh. This home has a hunting lodge type design with antler chandeliers, animal print upholstery, and wooden beams and columns. Well, yeah, it's fucking, yeah.
It's the
Other
mulch.
features on the home is a catch release fishing pond and a barn with more living space. For who? Who's he putting in the barn?
Your concubine.
She ain't living in the barn. She at least living in a pool house. I don't know what you're fucking.
No, I'm sure it's nice, man. I'm sure the barn's nice.
Yeah, that's an $8 million fucking is so
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in Oklahoma State because they haven't been relevant
Yeah.
since they got their asses beat week one, I believe, this
Man,
year.
they they're probably the biggest disappointment of the college football year.
Dude, they
I mean,
just
obviously Florida State's number one, but there's an argument for Ohio State because
Florida State deserved it.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State deserves it too because they didn't win a conference game. At least Florida State won a conference game. OSU didn't win a conference game, and they both were picked by a lot of people to be in their conference championship games.
So is Gundy out?
No, he's not out. He restructured his contract. But I mean, you talk about somebody who just refuses to play the NIL era. It's him, man. It's him. He hates the transfer portal. He hates NIL. He hates all of it. He's kind of open about it, and you're seeing the product.
He's gonna crush that team.
Yeah, it's already happened, man. I was listening to the sports animal today, driving over to my doctor appointment, and they were talking to Bill Haston of the Tulsa World, and I mean, he sounded just he was it was a very somber conversation, but he was saying there's been some very serious damage to the donors and those people and in Stillwater because they're so pissed about the whole situation. Like they kind of don't want Mike Gundy there.
So
You
push
know,
him out. Why can't they just
but it's a lot of money to buy out, and they're just apparently the NIL money that they were counting on isn't coming in because a lot of the donors are just kind of like, yeah, we're not, we're kind of out right now. And
so where's the NIL money in Oklahoma? Where's that going? If it's not going to OU to make them better, and that's not going to Oklahoma
yeah,
State to make them better,
it's
where are
going
these
to OU.
fucking
OU spends about 14, $15 million a year in NIL. They're top 15 in terms of colleges and NIL money. Like Texas and Ohio State and Oregon are towards the top at like 20 mil, you know, 22 mil, I think.
I'd
And
be pissed
Texas,
if I'm not getting the production, though. Isn't
that
that what you're paying for?
that's the problem. That's the problem. And that's the problem with Norman is that they're spending all this NIL money. Like, look, this team is like falling apart. 16, I think it's maybe 18 guys now in the transfer portal from last year, and that's money that the collectives and the school put into these guys, and they just took the money and ran without anything to show for it on the field. That's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Dude, I don't get it, dude. I really don't. It just, I don't get it, man.
Yeah,
This is gonna be crazy. So we have
yeah.
got a lot to look forward to these
I'm
next
excited.
couple weeks. And I want to thank you again, Paul, for coming on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having
And
me.
I'm sorry Jimmy couldn't make it. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
man.
going on.
Tell him I said hi. Do it
Yeah,
again.
we will. We're gonna have you back on because after football ends, we got some hockey to talk about.
I'm all in. I'm
Yeah,
all in.
dude.
We could talk
Yeah.
about that fucking wagon of a team in Chicago that's blowing everybody out of the water.
You mean these guys?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Those
if I
guys.
could get up, I would go over there and I would get you my bottle of Belfort whiskey. Ah, I have the same one, but mine's finished.
That team.
Yes. Go Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, thanks again. Uh,
Appreciate it, man.
love you, man. And everyone else, we'll see you next week.